Good morning, my dear students. How are you today? Our lesson today is the lesson we studied yesterday, is simplifying radicals. Lesson 10.2, simplifying radicals. Today we are going to continue this lesson. We stopped at problem number 4. Let's solve it first. A rectangular door in a museum is 3 times as tall as its width. That means the length is 3 times the width, 3w. And here we have the graph already. What is the simplified expression for the maximum length? Maximum length of painting that fits through the door. Here I need to find the maximum length. The width is w and the length is 3w because it's 3 times. And as we know that the rectangle has a right angle in each corner. So this angle is right. I need to find the maximum length, so I need to find this side. We are going to use Pythagoras Theorem because we have right angle triangle. So according to Pythagoras Theorem, this side is the hypotenuse. This side is the hypotenuse. So the maximum to the power of 2 will be equals w to the power of 2. This is Pythagoras theorem plus 3w all power 2. Find that w power 2 is w power 2 plus 3w all power 2. 3 power 2 is 9. W power 2 make plus w power 2 plus 9w power 2 is 10w power 2. This is m squared. I need to find only m, so I'm going to make square root. So m will be square root of 10 w power 2. And as I told you before, find square root 10 by using calculator. Let's open our calculator. Here, square root 10 will be the same. So square root 10, it's square root 10. What about w? As I told you before, make 2 power divided by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. That means there is no remainder. So w will be outside here to the power of 1. So the final answer, square root 10 w. Square root 10 w. Another exercise here. A door's height is 4 times its width. That means we have w and 4w because it's 4 times. What is the maximum length? Again, we are going to use Pythagoras theorem. So m squared equals w power 2 plus 4 w all to the power of 2. W power 2 is w power 2 plus 4 power 2 is 16 w to the power of 2. W power 2 plus 16 w power 2 is 17 w power 2. This is m squared. If you need to find m, make square root. So m equals square root 17 power 2. Let's find first square root of 17. square root of 17. It will be the same. And what about square root of w power 2? W is power 2. So we are going to make 2 divided by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. There is no remainder, so there is no w inside the square root. W will be outside. Only w. So the answer square root 17w. Let's move to another part of this lesson, which is divide of square roots. If we have a more than or equal 0 and b more than 0, then square root of a over b, I can distribute the square root among the division. Instead of square root a over b, it will be square root a over square root b. Like square root 36 over 49, it will be square root 36 over square root 49. The final answer is 6 over 7. So it's very easy property. Let's solve exercise about this property. Here we have square root 64 over 49. In this part, I can use the calculator directly. No problem. Like that. Just write square root, make a fraction, 64 over 49. So the answer is 8 over 7. The final answer is 8 over 7. No problem about this part. The problem is here. If you have a letter like that, square root x to the power of 3 over square root 50. Before you distribute the square root, make simplify if you have inside the square root. How come? It will be like that. There is no problem about the number. Make square root 8 over 50. Square root 8 over 50. The final answer is 2 over 5 of the number. Okay? Here we have x power 3 over x. X power 3 over x. When we divide the same base, we subtract the power. So it will be, don't forget the square root, x to the power of 2, because 3 minus 1 is 2. Keep 2 over 5 as usual. Square root x to the power of 2, make 2 divided by 2, it will be 1. So there is no square root. So the answer 2 over 5 x to the power of 1. Because 2 over 2, the answer is 1. Square root x power 2 will be x only. Another exercise about this part. Here, it's number, no problem. Square root 144 over 9. The final answer is 4. The final answer is 4. No problem about this part. Here, as I told you before, find the number first, like that. Square root 36 over 4. This is the answer of the number. The final answer is 3. So I have to write here 3. And the square root, don't forget. A over a power 3. A over a power 3. When we divide the same base, we subtract the power. So 1 minus 3 is negative 2. So a will be to the power of negative 2. By the same way, keep 3. Here, to find the square root of a power negative 2, make negative 2 divided by 2. Negative 1, there is no remainder, so write a outside. and power negative 1. I can't write any letter to the power of negative, so it will be 3 up over a to the power of 1 down. Move a power negative 1 down to make the power positive. So it will be 3 over a. The next exercise, as usual, make the number first. Square root 25, only there is no number down. 5. So the final answer of the number is 5. Now make simplify of the fraction of the letters if you have, of the variable. Here we have y and we have z. I can't simplify. So distribute the power, no problem. Square root y to the power of 3 over square root z to the power of 2 as usual. Now we have 5. Okay, square root of y to the power 3. We are going to make as usual 3 divided by 2. We have a remainder, so we have a letter inside and the letter outside. So we are going to write y outside and y inside. Y outside is to the power of 1 and y inside also to the power of 1 over square root z to the power of 2. Square root z to the power of 2. We are going to make, as usual, 2 divided by 2 because the power is 2 of z. There is no remainder, so there is no letter inside. There is no z inside square root. So the answer is z to the power of 1 because we have 1. This is the final answer. Let's move to another part of this lesson, which is here when a radicand in denominator is not perfect square. You may need to rationalize the denominator. What is the meaning of that? This means that we cannot write any number in simplest form if you have a square root down. Like that, this is wrong. This is not in simplifying form. You have to simplify it. How come? Let's start our exercise to know how to simplify this example. Here, what is the simplified form of each expression? We have an expression here, and the problem here is that we have square root in the denominator. So what we are going to do, first divide this page like that. First, we are going to take the number square root 3 over square root 7 and multiply this number by root 7 up and down. Square root 7, square root 7. Why square root 7? Because the denominator is square root 7 and I need to finish the denominator or finish the square root. Square root 3 times square root 7, the answer is square root 21. Square root 7 times square root 7, it will be 7 without square root. Let's check if we have simplified. Square root 21, square root 21, it will be the same. So this is the answer. Another exercise here, we are going to multiply by, who can tell me? Yes, square root 8n over square root 8n, because the denominator here is square root 8n. Let's multiply. First, we are going to multiply square root 7 times square root 8. By using calculator, no problem. Square root 7 times square root 8. It will be 2 square root 14, no problem. Write 2 square root 14. Don't forget n. Don't forget n. So n inside. Times over square root 8n times square root 8n. It will be 8n without square root. Don't forget to simplify. We have 2 and 8. Let's check the simplify. Like that. 2 square root 14 make over 8. Don't write the letters. So the answer changed. So it will be square root 14 over 4. Don't forget we have in here, and we can put it outside because the power is 1. And in here. So the final answer is square root 14n over 4n. Let's see a lot of exercise about this part, like that. Square root 2 over square root 3. I can use the calculator directly. In the previous example, I can use the calculator directly to check our answer. Square root 3 over square root 7. You will find square root 21 over 7, the same answer we found it before. And here, we can use like that, square root 7 over square root 8. It will be square root 14 over 4, and we have in here and in here. But if you have a letter, don't use the calculator, because we cannot write the letters inside the calculator. Here we have square root 2. I can use the calculator direct, no problem, over square root 3. The final answer here, square root 6 over 3. The next one. Here we need to multiply this fraction by square root 18m over square root also 18m to finish the square root. It will be like that. Square root 5 times square root 18. Square root 5 times square root 18. It will be 3 square root 10. So 3 square root 10. Don't forget the letter m inside the square root. And here will be square root 18m times square root 18m. It will be 18m without the square root. Check simplify 3 and 18. You have to check the simplify of 3 and 18. 3 over 18, we have simplified because we both of them in table 3. So the new answer is like that. Square root 10 up 1, so just write square root 10 m over 6m. The next one here, I'm going to multiply by square root 3 up and down, because we are going to distribute the square root. So now we have square root 7 times square root 3. Square root 7 times square root 3. It will be square root 21. So square root 21 up. Don't forget the letter S. Over square root 3 times square root 3 is 3. There is no simplify. Let's check. Square root 21 up over square root 21 over 3. It will be the same. So this is the final answer. Now we finished our lesson. I hope you understood this part. Don't forget your online assignment. Have a nice day. Thank you.